he talks in this teaching about how our attention is so powerful and creative that if I use my energy of trust to focus on what is negative, that's what will come to me. I will seem to get proof of the power of negativity. And he says, I can also choose at any moment to take that energy of trust and direct it towards positivity. And that will give me confirmation of positivity. And so he talks about take any negative trust and transform it into positive trust. So anywhere that you've been focusing on negativity, the same energy, just direct it toward positivity. Good morning and welcome. 1,000 welcomes to you all. Right at the end there in that prayer, when we say, I am the absolute self, I can hear Swami Nityananda saying, I am indeedy. And so for all of us to keep that sense of play and that sense of spiritual, just unconditional exuberance and joy and fun. So our practice is, of course, sincere, and we are steadfast and dedicated to our practice, but to also allow ourselves to have that energy of joy and the energy of humor, that energy of laughter and lightheartedness. It makes it really a delight to be here. So we are meditating today on living, thanksgiving, and light. And I will just mention, many of us know that Swami Nityananda, who founded this community, left the body 10 years ago. And ever since that time, every year, once a year, to honor him, we share a prayer outpouring that he shared called a devotee's prayer. So I'll just give you a little bit of backstory, and I'll say by way of backstory that I'm a really fast typist, okay? So, and this is good, because at the end of July of 2014, Swami Nityananda opened his mouth, and I started typing, and outpoured a devotee's prayer. And it's such a beautiful, complete expression of what it means to live the yogic teachings, to live unconditional love, to live in wisdom, to live in non-attachment, to live in joy and generosity and exuberance in time and space in a human body. And so what we do is, in a moment, I'll share a couple of teachings first, but then I'll invite everyone up, and you're invited to read a verse from this prayer. One of the things that we've noticed over the years is that people report the verse that they read really meant a lot to them. And so be open to that. Like, just notice if somehow the verse that you read is giving you encouragement or guidance or a sense of humor or a course correction, just some sort of like spiritual energy that is helping you with whatever is most helpful for right now. And then as you listen, I would also invite you to listen to all of the verses. So you might hear another verse that someone else reads that really calls to you. And I'll just mention as well that these are verses that they'll speak to you right now in the moment, but they will also, if you keep meditating with them, they will keep unfolding their riches. So they are absolute treasures. You could meditate with them every day for the rest of the year, for the next year, until we do this again. And they will continue to unfold their treasures. So first, I want to share a verse. This is from Psalm 92, and it's a verse that Swami Nityananda loved. It is a good thing to give thanks unto the Lord, and to sing praises unto thy name, O Most High. And then the next verse, it is a good thing to show forth thy loving kindness in the morning, and thy faithfulness at night. And so for each of us, we're just invited to enter into that energy of goodness, that energy of beauty. That is the energy of our true nature for each of us. So when you meet a teacher like Swami Nityananda, you can just see and feel, like in a very tangible, palpable way, this energy of beauty, this energy of goodness is radiating through that human. And that's just a reminder for each of us to turn within and to realize the same energy of beauty and goodness dwells in the heart of every one of us. And so we're just opening, we're allowing that energy of beauty and goodness to share through us, and giving thanks, singing praises to the divine, singing praises to the beauty and the goodness that shares through all of the attendees and meditators and the karma yogis, the kriya yogis. It helps you be in that energy of what is most high. And then dedicate ourselves to showing forth divine loving kindness in the morning. So just allow yourself to feel how incredible that is, to open our heart and dedicate ourselves to showing forth divine loving kindness in the morning, and dedicate ourselves to showing forth divine faithfulness every night.
Welcome, Acharya Kashi from Awake Yoga Meditation. And if you are enjoying this content and you are ready for practical next steps like meditation, less stress, and more peace, I highly encourage that you subscribe to our Substack. You'll find the link in our description.
And so one way to look at that is, in one way, this is talking about we move through time and space. And so there's unfoldments. There are, like right now, the sun is shining. It's very beautiful. And so it might be really easy at this moment to connect with the energy of divine loving kindness. But if a storm comes, outwardly or inwardly, that's when you might experience the feeling of a nighttime, and you're invited to connect with divine faithfulness. Divine loving kindness is still there, even if you are experiencing a feeling of nighttime or a feeling of a storm, outer or inner. Divine loving kindness is still there. And so it's helping you be very steady and very faithful, very steadfast about your willingness to connect with divine loving kindness, no matter what you're seeming to see in time and space. And so I think I will just share one more teaching from Swami Nityananda before I invite us to join in the shared reading of the prayer. He's talking in this teaching about the difference between going to the heart, going to what is always eternal, which is that unconditional love. That's notice the color purple in a field as you walk by. Just notice. There's so much beauty. There's so much sacredness everywhere that we find ourselves. Notice. And then what happens is the power of our attention and our own consciousness is really potent. So we will notice more beauty. We will notice more goodness. And this is what Swami Nityananda talks about in his teaching, If You Would Know True Trust, which is another one of those outpourings that he spoke, and I typed really quickly. But he talks in this teaching about how our attention is so powerful and creative that if I use my energy of trust to focus on what is negative, that's what will come to me. I will seem to get proof of the power of negativity. And he says, I can also choose at any moment to take that energy of trust and direct it towards positivity. And that will give me confirmation of positivity. And so he talks about take any negative trust and transform it into positive trust. So anywhere that you've been focusing on negativity, the same energy, just direct it toward positivity. And this is what he says. If you want peace in your mind, stop complaining. Look at reality with an uppercase R. That's which is unchanging, unconditional love. That's reality with an uppercase R. Look at reality with a lowercase r. That's what's happening in time and space. And your life is full of woe and worry. Choose to see everything with the eyes of God. Whatever is happening, whatever experience we have, every experience, however devastating it appears at the time, is a catalyst for greater times. Every experience is a gift because it awakens in us the desire for something better. So just connect with that energy of that which is better, that which is giving you clarity, that which is helping you transform any negative trust into the energy of positive trust. And it will be so. That is how this universe, which is so responsive to where we are placing our focus and energy and attention, that is how beautiful and magnificent and creative we are. So we are actually helping to create what comes next. As we focus on unconditional love, we help create more unconditional love. As we focus on what is beautiful and perfect and joyful, we help create more of what is beautiful and whole and perfect. So I think in closing, I'll just share with you a couple of things that Swami Nityananda shares about Thanksgiving. And one of the things I find deeply moving about this is he lived these teachings. So he said, for example, I have learned to be content amidst all circumstances. In all things, give thanks if you want to know joy. And when he said that, it was a Friday night meditation. His body felt completely comfortable. It seems relatively easy to say that in that moment. But he also lived that until the very last breath that he breathed, when his body was not at all comfortable. and he still kept living the teachings of these truths. And what he demonstrated, he says also, if in even the worst experience you can find something to appreciate in it, you're on your way to living in joy. You're also on your way to living in good humor. So his sense of humor stayed with him the whole way through as well. So when you're living in this energy of gratitude and appreciation, finding something to appreciate no matter what, then you have this energy of contentment, which is the energy of fullness. It's the energy of being aware. The divine is fully present. And so then you naturally still have your sense of humor and lightheartedness and that unconditional love. He says, through giving thanks, we have a powerful ally. He spoke these words years ago, and they are so fresh and timely. It is so easy to become uneasy about changing conditions that affect us in an adverse way, or we allow them to affect us. That's why they affect us that way. They don't simply affect us without our participation. Have you noticed? Nothing affects us unless we participate. Even when we're passive, we're participating by being passive. When you understand that, you are drawing closer to the divinity within you, that which dwells in your heart. The closer you draw to the heart, the more joy you feel, the more peace, the more freedom, the more well-being, the more energy. And so if you are feeling uneasy, this teaching is inviting you to go deeper. Go deeper. The source of the solution is within you. Go deeper. Go closer to the heart. And as you draw closer to the heart, you feel intrinsic joy. Not joy dependent upon changing circumstances, but joy that's with you always, eternally. As you draw closer to the heart, you feel more peace, you feel more freedom, you feel more well-being, more energy, not dependent on any changing circumstances, but there at the very core of your being. And so for everyone, I think it's beautiful to just take a breath of gratitude into your own heart. Take a breath that the source of joy and well-being and unconditional love and beauty and wholeness and perfection and appreciation is with and within you always. Take a breath into your own heart and feel such thankfulness to yourself that you remember that unconditional love is your true nature. No matter what happens in time and space, unconditional love is whole and complete and pure and beautiful and perfect in you. And when you have that self-awareness and that self-remembrance, unconditional love silently shares through you everywhere that you go. So you're on a bus, you're in the grocery store, wherever you find yourself, this energy of unconditional love, without your speaking a word, is spontaneously sharing. And it uplifts, it elevates, it transforms the way that you walk through the world. So everywhere that you are, as you connect with this reality of unconditional love, you are bringing light. You are remembering the light that each of us is always. And as you hold that frequency of light in your heart and in your awareness, you help everyone you encounter open a doorway, a possibility to unfold even more light of self-remembrance, even more light of unconditional love, even more light of joy and service and generosity and creativity and support. And so give such thanks. It is a divine gift that you are here. I celebrate it. I love it with all my heart that you are here. Thank God, and God bless us all.